5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space. With news and information on the U.S. manned space program is your host of About Space, David Denal. Welcome to our program. In the next few weeks, Americans will begin to hear about the Falcon, the Dragon, and the Starliner. This will be America's first attempt to return American astronauts to space on American rockets. Private commercial companies have now partnered with NASA to provide low-cost, integrated, reusable rockets and spacecraft, with a first-time ability for U.S. spacecraft to land on water or touchdown on land.
I'm NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, and today we're going to be talking about a new program. In fact, a program that NASA is very proud of. We are on the brink of launching American astronauts on American rockets from American soil for the first time since 2011, the retirements of the space shuttles. And so this is an exciting time. We have two providers for this new capability. We call it Commercial Crew. The idea being that NASA is not purchasing, owning, and operating its own rockets this time. In fact, we're going to buy access to space in a way that we've never done it before. We helped two partners, namely Boeing and SpaceX, develop capability to fly our astronauts into space with the hopes that NASA could become one customer of many customers, driving down our cost of access to space and having multiple providers, and those providers competing on both innovation and cost. Again, giving NASA more opportunity to do more things than we've ever been able to do before. From sending our first astronauts to the International Space Station.
One of the first crew members of the Boeing Starliner is Chris Ferguson, who was involved from the early beginnings of the program. And Chris says his life has really changed since being announced as a crew member.
Well, my life has changed slightly. I've been involved, as you probably know, since 2012 in constructing this. Shortly after I left NASA, Boeing brought me on to help finish the design and take the Starliner all the way to fruition and ultimately into space. So, but in the last couple months, since I knew I was going to be a part of this mission, my trajectory has changed a little bit. I'm a lot more into training and what it's going to take to get Sonny and the rest of the Boeing team up to speed on how the software works, how the crew interface works, how we're going to live and work in space. It's a brand new vehicle, the first time we've done this. It's the first time we've really brought a new human-rated spacecraft to launch from U.S. soil online in almost 35 years.
Another Starliner crew member is veteran astronaut Sunita "Sonny" Williams. What's different?
Chris mentioned how it is different from shuttle, but it's actually very similar to Soyuz in its mission and what it's supposed to do. So while it's docked to the space station over that 6 months' time, it's also a lifeboat. So the vehicle needs to be capable to be in space for that long, whereas the shuttle was only a couple weeks. This is going to be 6 months on board the space station. In case there's any problems while the folks are living up there, they can jump into the spacecraft and make their way back to Earth. And that's a really needed capability for sustaining people living on the International Space Station. It's like the Soyuz in its mission. It's a lot different from the Soyuz on the inside of it. The Soyuz, is a heritage vehicle from the 1960s, has a lot of upgrades in the number of years, but it still maintained that shape. This is a brand new spacecraft designed brand new with new technologies and new manufacturing techniques to put this and its rocket together. And so it's a big step in technology. So it's more capable, and it's going to be a little nicer to fly, I think.
Astronaut Sonny Williams. Read more of About Space in the Herald Tribune and don't miss seeing the Apollo displays and an authentic moon rock at the Tellus Science Museum. And remember, like us on Facebook. Next week, more on America's return to space. I'm David Denal, and this has been About Space Today.